Leonardo da Vinci famously said, God will sell you all things at the price of labor. What he was trying to convey is that all the byproducts of life have a cost. They require effort. They require dedication. You cannot have success without suffering. You cannot have winning without effort and without dedication. God will sell you all things at the price of labor. You want to be successful? You're going to have to work for it. You want a good relationship with your spouse? You're going to have to work for it. You want a good physique? You want good health? You're going to have to work for it. But it's easily available to those individuals that input the right amount of effort and energy in order to accomplish their dreams. Once you've determined what you want and where you want to go, you need to input the necessary amount of energy in order to get there. If you want to go from point A to point B in a car, you got to drive. The motor's got to crank up and it's got to go. In the same way, it applies to our life. If you want to achieve success, you're going to have to pay the price. And it won't be cheap. It'll be tireless nights, long days, empty bank accounts, depressing thoughts, isolation, loneliness, tribulation, heartaches, headaches, and a lot of pain. But on the other side of pain is pleasure. On the other side of pain is success.
The most important question to ask is, what pain do you want in your life? What are you willing to struggle for? Anything worthwhile is going to require some degree of pain and struggle. So, if you're oriented toward the pain and the struggle, you're probably going to be more aligned with what you're capable of accomplishing rather than if you just orient toward the pleasures.
I believe that most human beings are only living at about 40% of their capability. So the mind has a governor, like a car. If you're driving a car and the car has a governor on it, the car may say 130 miles an hour, but the governor's set for 91. Once that governor sets in, you get to 91, that car starts doing this. The car wants to go. The car wants to go, but that fucking factory said, we're not going past 91. We have a factory, a nice governor in our brain, and it's the survival mechanism. It protects us from pain and suffering. The second we feel that shit, our mind says, oh no, this isn't fun. We should back off. We should sit down, find something more comfortable. And there's something about the mind. The mind has the tactical advantage over you at all times. At all times of your life, the mind has a tactical advantage over you. Why is that? It knows what you're afraid of. It knows your insecurities. It knows your deep, dark lies. And it starts to push you away from that shit. It pushes you in a direction that is comfortable. The mind controls everything. So what I realized was that when I was growing up and I was 300 pounds and I got all fat and I got all insecure, I realized that my mind kept taking me in this direction. When things got uncomfortable for me, when I was facing my insecurities, I was facing my fears, my mind said, oh no, we have a tactical advantage. We need to get you, separate you from this feeling over here. Life's all about feelings. We want the happy feeling. We don't want that feeling of this sucks. Why am I here? And you don't have any, so you can't answer those questions, so you leave. I started realizing that if in that moment you can answer those fucked up questions and you are now in charge of your brain versus your brain ruling you, that's where all that stuff comes from. So the 40% rule is all of that. You get to 40%, your brain says, we're done. Let's roll, man. This is starting to get painful. This is uncomfortable. So you sit down. You have to figure out ways, and everybody's different. That's how the book kind of talks about, like we all have these things about, 5 steps to this and 4 steps to this. It's a lot more than that. That's all bullshit. It's a practice that you have to, it's a habit. So if you know that at 40%, I'm feeling pain. At 40%, I'm feeling pain. That's where the 40% rule kicks in. Now it starts. Okay, I'm feeling pain. My mind's saying all this shit to me. It's saying, get out of here, run, flee. The fight or flight kicks in. Okay, we're done. We're not good enough. It starts telling you all these things. You start to believe it because the mind controls all. This is the time where you have to gain control back of your mind. It's okay. Let me see if I can go 45%. And once you start giving yourself more and more hope and start realizing, okay, the mind starts to be, okay, what are you doing? We're supposed to be going right and you're going left. you start then controlling your mind. Start finding more in yourself. And then it goes from 40% to a lot further than that. But that's the start of it though. Get to the spot where your mind is saying stop. Wherever that is, you gotta get there first. And then that's when that shit starts to work for you. You gotta control yourself in that moment.
You're going to lose sleep. You'll doubt whether it'll work. You'll stress to make ends meet. You won't finish your to-do list. You'll wonder whether you made the right call and have no way to know for years. This is what hard feels like, and that's okay. Everything worth doing is hard, and the more worth doing it is, the harder it is. The greater the payoff, the greater the hardship. If it's hard, good. It means no one else will do it.
I don't chase happiness. I don't look for happiness. I don't pursue happiness. I am after experiencing life, the fullness, the range of it, telling somebody before, people pray and ask God for patience. But then when God sends them a situation that tests their patience and is very difficult, they don't realize that that's what God sent them in order for that patience to be developed. You want the patience, but you don't want the process in order to achieve the patience. So if you're asking God for self-development, you want to become better, you're going to have to go through some shit. Life's not going to be easy. Welcome to the game. This is what you signed up for. Pain, suffering. Why did I sign up for it? Well, you signed up for it just by being human. So welcome to the game. We're all playing it. Some people have different levels of suffering. Some people have more privilege. Some people have less privilege. It is what it is. What are you going to fucking do about it? Cut the pie in half? Not going to happen. So take the cards that you're dealt with, elevate your consciousness, be grateful that you have the opportunity to change your life. And if you don't think you have the opportunity, you won't have the opportunity.